what's going on, man? It's your boy Dane Diddy.
Ambitious Ace.
Bang Bang Boomerang.
Raising Kanan.
Part of the Power Universe.
The Power Universe. The PU.
Ooh, the PU.
The PU, yeah.
The PU.
We need another acronym. Another
Yeah,
Yeah, we gotta get that.
Something.
PU, I don't know about
You
that.
gotta have Pepe Le Pew as the logo for that. Shout out to Courtney.
PCU.
Shout out.
There we go. PCU. Power Cinematic Universe. Can we put a C in there?
Okay.
Nah.
PCU.
Nah.
Sound like some drugs.
Nah.
Okay, let's go.
The PCU.
Yeah.
Anyway, man, Raising Kanan, man. I don't even know where to start. We start off. You want to just start at the beginning of the show? We see.
How hype was you for this show? Let's start with that. Were you
Not
excited?
very hype.
Not very hype?
No, not at all.
I wasn't either. I'm not going to even lie.
I was mildly, interested. I was just like, okay, we'll see how this goes.
You know what made me even less hype?
What's that?
When we started watching the beginning and I saw it wasn't written by Courtney Kemp.
Oh, you're right.
I was just like,
oh, dang.
don't say that.
Dang.
It's executive produced by Courtney.
But she's not on the writing credits. Well, she might still be in the room overseeing. You never
She's
know.
an executive producer, so
Yeah.
that means she still okays everything.
Yeah,
I love it.
I meant to look up the writer to see how much of regular Power they worked on.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
I also
right.
thought a thing like if they did work on even some of the best episodes, it's usually a little easier to jump in when you follow the show and it's already moving and got a flow to it.
We can't burn Courtney out. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Yeah.
Let Courtney get her money being an exec in the office and chilling
Yeah.
because she's done a lot of great things thus far. So we start off with little Kanan. You're getting beat up at the park. We see Jukebox there. And, he kind of gets beat up, runs home. His mom takes him back up to the thing, put the batteries in the side, and kind of like just whoop all of them,
Kind of, I want to say that just that introduction of her alone was enough to let him know that she was about that business.
Yeah.
About not being weak. She came off really strong from
That's
the
just
get-go.
a black mother thing.
But I'm just saying.
That's just
saying.
your parents.
Period. Like for that alone, like how she was just like, well, either you go do this, they ain't gonna have no more to run because I'm gonna be standing right here. So I mean, I just thought that was a neat way to kick off, that relationship between them two, with mother and son. I thought that was pretty dope.
And it kind of kicks off like, he's been learning this game since a kid. You know what I'm saying? Not to be afraid. So, I mean, it'll be kind of like a foreshadow for the future of the episode. But yeah, like, hey, don't be a punk. And I think it's based off a true story with 50 Cent.
Is it?
I think so, man.
You sure?
I think so.
I mean, Kanan has always seemed like it was 50. But I mean, I never,
Yeah. So, but yeah, that just pretty much kicks off. Like, look, he came from a hard place, and you got to be tough. So pretty much like kind of foreshadows, what we're gonna see.
Yeah.
So we get the Kanan as a teenager, and we see he has this opportunity to go to this other school.
Yeah.
The school that possibly was the school that, now that I think about it, Ghost and Angela went to, right?
That's what I was thinking about.
What?
Was it that
Didn't
school?
they go to a different school away from the city? If I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
Oh, the
And
connection.
I put that
Okay.
I put that together from the get go because I was just
It
like,
just clicked right now.
I was like, you telling me Kanan had the same opportunity?
Oh,
It's crazy.
I love the show. Okay.
So, she's telling him to go to the school. He doesn't want to go to the school. He sees a fight, his homeboy breaking out. And then we get the first glimpse of one of his mom's first loves, and that's astrology. And she kind of drops some astrology.
Yeah. That scene when they were walking through the
Yeah, through the
I
hallway,
thought
and
that
she
was pretty
shows
dope.
something on the board and talks about what the astrology meant.
Oh
in
yeah,
that case.
yeah. That's like her thing. Yeah. Shout
See,
out.
that's what made me think Courtney was still overseeing this because you get these like hard, grounded characters with some really neat elements like that you would never expect because people don't expect black people like astrology and stuff like that. So I love that.
I don't know if that's
wouldn't-
true. I know
I'm
a
about to
lot of
say.
people that's into astrology.
I'm saying it's not never expected. I'm not saying I don't know.
I know
but
mad
I'm
people
glad,
you meet them, they be like, what's your sign?
But I'm not talking about like just signs and stuff like that, but actually the constellations and everything about the story behind them. She told the whole story of what was the first one that she pointed out?
I don't know.
I can't remember. I don't know the
Gosh, I
stars.
can't remember, but the way she had related to it, like she related to the struggle that she was always stuck in this trapped for eternity and everything like that, and she related to the story. I just thought that was a really character-defining moment for a mother to show just the type of strength. Like, we already know she's a strong black woman, but at the same time, it just gave another layer to her character, and I thought that was brilliant. And I just love how Power does that. Gives us those little nuggets of characters that we don't really expect them to be on and stuff like that. So I just really enjoy that.
And then another thing too, and that's why I really like this. They're coming off. This is 91.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got to think the opportunities back then isn't where they are now. So just there's so many talented people that didn't have that many options, right? So that right there was just an example of somebody who's so bright, so talented, whose only option was the streets. And that's pretty much what
I still don't feel like it's the only option, but I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
I think it was the only option he wanted to be comfortable with. It was like a comfort thing. Like he still had the choice.
No, I'm saying his mom.
Oh, his mom. Okay.
In that era, probably when she was growing up, I'm sure she had dreams because you got to think their whole family is involved.
He said her boyfriend got her into it. That's what they said.
Got the whole family into it.
Not his mom. His mom's boyfriend got her.
Kanan's
Kanan's dad got her into it, and then the guy she was dating also helped her.
Got her into it. Yeah. Okay.
And even Joey Badass even mentioned something to her.
Later
on.
Yeah,
that was clean.
right.
But so we see that moment. Then we get to meet Jukebox as a youngin singing in the choir, and then we meet Kanan's crew at the lunch table, and we also meet Raquel in the line while he's getting his lunch. So, how are you guys feeling about the initial crew that we met initially?
I love it. It's just showing a lot of defining character traits for they already felt like a believable circle. You know what I'm saying? From the moment they was beatboxing and rapping on the table, and Jukebox. Dropping them little, little puns here and there. Like, she had the same kind of attitude and demeanor as Anika Noni Rose and everything. Like, I was just like, yo, they are killing it when it comes to this. But as far as the gang itself, I think they're building a great cast to get us going on with this season. It's a believable foundation.
Ooh.
They don't come off as gimmicky or nothing like that. It seems all natural.
Yeah, I mean, it feels so authentic. Like, to me, it just felt like we've all been in the cafeteria, that type of vibe. Like, to me, that just felt like that era. So shout out. I thought that was really cool, man.
And I also I thought I was going to be annoyed, but I also welcomed the fact that 50 was narrating.
Bro,
I felt it because at first I was just like, oh, he about to do this whole episode.
They needed to have.
But then I was just like, I like this. I like this.
It gave me like
because he was just like, look at me. I don't even know what to do, or something he said.
When he was talking to Raquel.
Yeah.
Like, everybody hates Chris type vibe, man.
Exactly. So I love that element.
And then we also see that Raquel's boyfriend is like pretty much a drug dealer. I forgot what his name is at the moment. 10-bit, something like that. I can't remember. So, and then we also get to see her and then Raquel again. No, Rocky. That's what he called her, right? His mom.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
okay. His mom's nickname was Rocky, right?
Just Rock.
Mm-hmm. And
like that name.
She's going to the hospital, and we meet both of her brothers,
Lulu and Marvin.
So my man that was eating, that's Marvin, right?
Marvin is the one that eats. Yes,
motherfucker was really eating the whole episode. You got to keep that going.
Yes, you have to.
You got to keep it going. And Lulu was just too cool for school.
Yeah. I loved it. That whole introduction was great. It put the pieces together greatly, and just the whole introduction was handled real well.
Yeah, I love how they set, like you said, set up the introduction. You kind of had you learn so much about him so quickly too, right? The younger one is supposed to be like he gets the job done. He's
smooth
cool. He's
with
smooth with it.
Yeah.
The older one just be messing up. I think they had a line. They had like a line, like he shows up to not show up or something.
Oh yeah. He came late.
Yeah, he showed up. She's like, "Where you at?" He's like,
I gotta eat. Nigga was hungry. Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah.
So he's the older brother, but it seems like he's kind of the screw up, but he's loyal, right? So they really painted those pictures like how they're all
never
dynamic.
miss an opportunity to miss an opportunity.
Yeah, never miss an opportunity.
That's it right there. Yeah.
And then she's the rock, I guess. She's that centerpiece, and I guess that's her nickname. So I was like, I love that introduction, man. I'm loving that family already.
Yeah. So I can't remember exactly what followed that, but I feel like she went to go meet with Joey Badass.
No,
Am I jumping
after
too far ahead?
after that is when they went to the club to look for Hojo or somebody, and they met that
Yeah,
white lady.
I don't know. Yeah.
And then,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then
Is
when
that
they were,
her name Linda, right?
and then
That
you
was
meet
Linda?
Symphony Basket. I was
Yeah.
just like, yo, what a name?
What kind of name?
I
Yeah.
was just like, your name's Symphony Basket.
The
All
writing
right.
team was like, the females in the writing team, like, we want an exotic man name. Symphony Basket.
But that introduction was interesting too. I was just like, all right, I'm gonna remember you because your name's Symphony.
Yeah, and Linda had the shittiest attitude.
Yeah,
you're that drug dealer. Your stuff is like dirt. You need to step it up. I was just like, yo, her voice is killing me. She really sounds like Valley Girl, and she really thinks she's hardcore like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But and then we also get to see, I think it was Famous and Jukebox and Kanan. They was playing Street Fighter 2.
That was dope.
I don't know if Street Fighter 2 was out in 91. It definitely was out in 93, but I'm not sure. I
have to look it up too. Yeah.
I'm about to say, it's close, though.
But it's
close.
not, yeah, it's close. But just seeing them, that just reminded me, of pre-COVID closeness back in the 90s.
Yeah.
When people were that close at arcade games and
Sharon Germ.
We also got an
the
introduction
Mortal
there.
Kombat like arcade was crowded around, everybody breathing on top of each other. You know what I mean? You remember those days?
Scary,
right?
scary time. Yeah.
Is that when we saw? I forgot his boy name. We got introduced there too. He was doing the beat. Start with
I
the
feel
D.
like he was there. I don't remember what his name
because that's when they
was.
did the focus on
It was
him.
like D-Mass or something like
and he
that.
was like, he's the only one that's really about that life. When
But
we
I don't
see
feel
him do
like
something.
that was the second
That
time.
was the second time, but that was the time we
second
introduced
So
him
we
who
did
he
we
is,
did
yeah.
get to meet Joey. That's when we first saw Joey Badass.
Yeah, 'cause he got out the car.
Because he got out of the car.
The bulletproof
and
car?
the car
Yeah.
was bulletproof. I think
yeah.
Famous mentioned the fact that it was bulletproof.
Yeah.
I think that was just to let you know for later on. when
And he was
about
talking
shots
to
and shoot
old
his car
dude's
up.
Yep.
girl. I mean,
Yeah.
boy. The dude that he
that's
mentioned.
a drug dealer.
Yeah.
And so we got to see them, and I felt like not long after that, that's when we see Joey Badass talking to Rock.
Yep.
My man is too cool.
Oh,
Joey
yeah.
I love
Badass is. I just love the way he was.
Yeah.
I felt like I was like, yo, my man been watching The
My
Godfather.
man had the demeanor on 10. He
I
had it
felt
locked.
that.
Yo.
On that video that I told you that Stars put out, where all the characters, all the people talk about their character, that's how Joey Badass was talking.
For real?
Yeah, so he must still be in character.
He stayed in character.
He is still in character.
I'm telling
I
you. Ready.
understand. No, he's
Stay
dressing.
ready.
He's dressing fly. He's got the attitude.
All
the dope
goes.
He's
flat
been
top.
killing it in the acting
Oh, he
scene lately,
killed
man.
it,
You
man.
know?
Oh yeah, he's
He was
killing
on-
it in Grownish. He's killing it everywhere.
Oh, you did tell me he was
Yeah.
on Grownish. Yeah, that's what's up, man. I
Good
remember
stuff.
seeing him first in the show Mr. Robot. That was the first show he got on, and I'm just like, okay, he killing it. But then he's been doing that, movies and stuff. So shout out to Joey, man. He working out here.
Yeah, so they have a conversation, and Raquel basically makes a deal with him to switch corners, and then that's they go ahead with that deal, and
That whole deal, man. Oh, I'm just thinking about that scene, man.
That's all they-
actually,
Yeah.
actually, that deal wasn't made until after they was at the restaurant eating together. The family was eating. We meet Famous's sister.
Yeah, because she was just like, why are you people coming after me?
Yeah, and then we
He was
saw
like,
that
was
she
this the
shot
warning
into the
shot?
air.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
yeah.
shot in the air as they
Yeah.
rolled by, and that's when they have the truce.
That whole dynamic at the dinner was dope too, because how he was talking about Jukebox not going to school. Why
yeah,
aren't
where
you
was
going to that
at?
school?
Yeah.
And she was
Yeah,
like, you
you
told
know.
me something. I'll never make it with a whole bunch of white people or something like
He
that.
said that do sound like some shit I said.
Yeah.
Missed opportunity. Missed opportunity, man.
So I thought that banter was pretty cool. That whole vibe right there was really dope.
Yeah, and you get to see her father and stuff like that. So now we get to see how Jukebox. That's why this is so good.
And
'Cause
Marv
man.
straight got played by a homegirl, by Famous's sister.
And
Oh,
I don't
he
know if
did?
y'all remember, but Jukebox in Power said something about her dad kicking her out.
Mm-hmm.
And Kanan was there for her when her dad kicked her out. So I'm interested to see how that plays out.
I felt like it was because she was a lesbian. But I felt like
I didn't put that together. It might be.
but yeah.
Yeah.
that's
okay.
why she didn't want to say where she was at. So
Oh,
but-
90s.
Well,
Yeah.
obviously we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But they shot in the air. They made the deal with Joey Badass. They go back to the about their business, and this is when we see Kanan in that restaurant again. We see homegirl eating a slice of pizza. That's how I knew it was New York. She had that big ass slice of pizza that you need two hands to hold.
Yeah.
And that's when Kanan's man mentions they're on this block.
Well, before that, remember, he went to school and took the test and put all B's.
He did put on
he
me.
failed the
He
test
failed
on
on
purpose.
purpose. Yeah.
And they go and they say we're gonna handle this ourselves. So they get some guns and they shoot Raquel's boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm assuming this is the first person Kanan killed.
That's what he said. He
That's
was
what he
like,
said.
"You never forget the first one you killed."
Yeah.
Yeah. So they run home. Rock's on a date with Symphony.
Yeah.
And Lulu comes in and just says, Kanan.
Mm-hmm.
So she goes home, has a conversation with him. I
Oh,
love the fact
man,
that
that scene.
Kanan was just like, yo, all that supreme mathematics y'all talking, I know what it means.
That
Like, y'all trying to
right
hide from
there.
me.
That's another thing. I was just like, I love this. Okay, you put stuff in here like that. I was just like, genius. It's great.
And you start, to me, I'm starting to really see the correlation between, Tariq and Kane, because, they were kind of similar in some regards.
Kanan saw a lot of Tariq in himself.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
you can start to see he was really smart. He caught on quickly. Like
Is he smart? He would have went to the smart school.
Well, yeah, if he was smart, he would have.
So I don't want to say that.
But he's smart enough to get there. You know what
But
I'm
I
saying?
also
smart.
like how he
Yeah.
kind of called out his mom before that conversation in the room. He was just like, if you wanted me gone, you would have sent me to grandma's a long time ago.
Ooh.
Which one is you on? Do you want me here or not? And I felt that because I don't think she really wanted to let go of her son,
No.
so to speak. She wanted him to do more, but at the same time, she wanted to hold on to him.
That kind of goes into that conversation that she had with Joey Badass the second time,
Mm-hmm.
where she was saying like, you love your son just no less than I love my son. And then he's just like, yeah, well, he
Yeah.
actually came out of you, so
Yeah.
it's different. It's
Yeah.
biological. It's just a little
No,
bit
what he
different.
said, that's y'all got a different chemistry. She was
Yeah.
like, that's biology.
Oh,
He was like, same thing, I thought that was cool.
Yeah, you can't talk to Joey like that. He had them fives on, so I'm not trying to hear it.
and that wasn't his son that died, right?
No.
No. Okay. I was like,
But just the way he was saying, like, my peoples, man, they want me to bring something. Like, just the way he was talking, like, you just kept.
I can dead the bounty, but you gonna have to give me these corners.
Yeah,
You know,
I want
Bro,
all of
I
them
want
too.
all of them.
those my favorite scenes were those dialogues between those two,
Yeah.
because it made sense. Like Joey's
It was
part.
giving me some wire.
Yeah.
I want my corners. I want my corners.
I need all the corners, man.
He's like, I'm a hood nigga, and I want my corners. Stringer's like, bro, we don't need them corners no more, man. We making money in real estate. I want my corners. Straight wood hair.
Need my edges. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So yeah, after that conversation, she sends him outside to put the trash out.
Yeah.
He almost gets shot. I just never understood why you would yell somebody's name out before you shoot at them.
Hey, yo,
Like,
Kanan.
You're basically telling them to duck, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we also did see. We also saw Linda. She was getting it in, and her dog was thrown in the microwave.
They did throw that
I had
dog in the
issues with this. How the fuck? I get it. You're into it, but you didn't hear your microwave turn on. You didn't hear your dog barking.
man.
You didn't hear the microwave running all of that time. But then again, microwaves in the 90s were a little bit different. They probably were quieter.
Nah, they were loud.
That was the dial. They
it
were
was
the
a little
dial.
turn joints. Yeah. Things are loud.
But how long was that dog in there for?
She
My
was
thing,
she
was it-
enjoying herself?
And was it a setup?
No, that dude had nothing to do with her.
Oh, okay.
Somebody came in that house. and
Yeah,
was
I
like,
thought
hey.
it was Lulu at first, but then I realized it wasn't when he said, "Give me some water." I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't the brother. It
No.
wasn't
No,
okay.
no.
I assumed it was him just because the way he was like, "Yo, let me talk to her. Let me talk to her." When they were in the club, I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, he about to break her off."
And when Marvin found out about that, and he was just like, "Yeah, man." He said it's all good. Now something about a white girl and her dog, and she was like, "What white girl?" And he was just like,
Like, ooh, I got it.
So after that, she makes it. We meet Omar Epps' character,
That was cool, man.
and we also meet Detective Shannon Burke.
Now, Omar Epps' character. I know this is from the jump speculation. You think he crooked? You think he know about the streets?
For
Well,
sure.
when you watch the Power thing that I told you to watch, he said that he plays both sides. So
Yeah.
Okay.
he's basically saxophone sax,
So
but black.
For
now,
sure.
I'm making another educated guess. You think along the line this will be how Jukebox try to introduce to the force?
For sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
The Force.
Yeah.
working
she's
with the police. You know, she's commanding a police officer. Maybe this is her. I'm just saying. I'm
Yo.
reaching. I know this
No,
is
no, no.
way early. But
50 Cent was pretty much, he was telling the story. He said pretty much the three biggest gangsters were the police, his mom's gang, and then the other gang as well.
Right.
So to me, it makes sense to me.
Okay. Yeah.
So after the family shows up, they kind of have a short conversation. We find out, we already knew Jukebox was with the white girl because they didn't say her name. They just said the white girl. And
No, they said her name. I just forgot.
She did?
Yeah, they said her name.
No. Kanan did.
Or Kanan said the white girl. Yeah, you're right.
Oh,
yeah.
But then she makes a decision. Like, she wakes him up in the middle of the night, takes him out, and they go shooting. And she kind of looks up, talks about Orion, talks about how that's them, to be aggressive and forceful, something along those lines.
But that scene,
and then the episode basically fades off.
But before that, I'm telling you, Mekhi Curtis nailed it when he had the gun and he had kind of cocked his head like Kanan does.
Oh yeah,
I was just like, yo. All throughout the episode.
He actually even talked how I'd expect Kanan to speak.
Yeah.
The whole episode, he was nailing the mannerisms and everything. Like, I was just like, yo, I really love how authentic they are being to the source material. And I think that's what I'm excited for the most. Yeah. Now that I've seen the show, it's just like, okay, even though we know the end and how this ends, this might be actually a cool journey to see, play out. Just because of the top-notch performances from him, Jukebox character, Joey Badass, Rock, like, this is about to be a crazy show.
Yeah, this is going to be an experience because we know the outcome. So it's so tough to see it. Like, the beginning felt like a movie, right? They played up all the characters. Yeah. You get to see certain dynamics. He was a good kid at one point, but to go from where he's at now to where we seen him on Power, we know this thing is about to collapse, and that's the hardest thing.
And I think, that makes me respect the show and what they did with Kanan on Power a little bit more because, like, us seeing that little bit of innocence that he had with Tariq, I'm not going to say it never made sense, but it was just so, like, unusual. He
killed his cousin.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah. So to see how the show is starting now with him and everything like that, I'm going to enjoy seeing that transformation because it's like heartbreaking, but at the same time, it's very realistic. Because I'm bet you there's a lot of kids out there who had opportunities like this, but unfortunately they chose another avenue of life and everything like that. And I just think Mekhi Curtis was a spot on casting.
Spot on.
So kudos to that, man.
So now that we have we talked about the episode, how do you guys feel about the first episode in general and predictions that you got?
Well, shout out to the show already getting racked up for season 2 before it even aired.
I mean, that was going to happen anyway.
I know, but I'm just saying, shout out to that.
What else stars got? Shit.
But I feel really good about the show. Just knowing of how connected to the series it is and how we're going to get to see a little bit more fleshed out, not only Kanan's story, but I'm excited to see who else we might get introduced from the Power universe that we know.
Yeah.
More specifically, how, Ghost and Tommy came into him. That might not be until season 2.
Which is good.
Yeah, I feel like we're not going to see nothing like that until season 2. But I'm just excited to see how, the characters and everything come together and how it's a crazy world, that Courtney Kipp has built. And just to see this after, when did Power first debut? Back
2013?
Oh, 14, 13.
It's been a minute, and just to see now we're
almost
getting this. It's really cool as a fan of the show to see, especially with, the black cast like this and everything like that. I'm really excited to see, how this show develops and goes on. Even though, we know how it ends, but like you said, this is what happens in between. So I feel that.
Yo, this is like The Wire meets Everybody Hates Chris. You know what I'm saying? Just how that is constructed. I love the direction that they're going, the way they're telling the story. Like, now it starts to add up. I remember going back to Power and like, man, Kanan went out like an OG, and this is probably the reason why, because they got to make him, exciting for his spinoff. And I love how they're having his character breathe. Like, I don't want to introduce Tommy and Ghost and Angela yet. Give him a full season. You know what I'm saying? Let us see Kanan. Then we'll see Ghost and everybody else later. So I'm looking forward to that. As far as predictions, it's going to be some deaths. I feel like there's going to be a lot of just chaos. Because right now, I think his mom, Rock, she's lost all of her blocks, right?
Mm-hmm.
All of her corners are gone. So he had
And
one
they're in
up.
a drought.
So on top of that, they have to fight back. So they're going to be the aggressors.
Yeah.
So something has to give. So we're going to see more about their empire. And I think 50 Cent's Kanan, he's going to have a big role in that. So.
And another thing I'm really excited to see is the development between Kanan and Jukebox and how their relationship really was.
Man.
I think that's my most exciting aspect of the show, granted, because we know how it ended. I really want to know, like, was there a rift between them? Because I remember when they first got back together, it was just like, what you doing back here? And everything like that. Was something happened between them before they stopped talking to each other? Was he mad because she joined the police force and all that stuff? Like, I'm really excited to see how that, like, it's going to be exciting and sad to see, because just to see how they started off, like just the relationship between them two, is just like, man, we know how this ends. So I'm hurt but excited at the same time to see that development.
And then like Kanan says he taught Ghost everything he knows, even from the club. I think, aren't they like selling drugs in the club? That was Ghost move, right? So now you're starting to see all the things that Kanan learned.
I think we're going to see all that, bro.
Oh my God.
We're going to see really why Kanan was probably so pissed, because Ghost probably stole that.
He stole it.
He stole it. So
and he left his crew, and there might be some reason why Jukebox felt a certain way, because they're in the crew together right now. So how did he go from that crew to kick it with Tommy and Ghost?
Yeah.
So, man, I'm glad you guys enjoyed the show. I really am. It sounds like y'all enjoyed the hell out of it.
You don't, man?
I don't care.
Whoa, really?
Yes.
Dang.
I really didn't give a fuck. I like Joey Badass's character. I like Rock's brothers. But she's nowhere near as interesting as Monet.
She's like in the middle.
I know it's only one episode, but in one episode, I was engaged with what was going on with Monet. I was just like, yo, what the hell? She's an OG. She is super interesting. As of right now, I don't care what happens with Kanan. I don't care what happens with Jukebox. I know their story. Like, they have a tall task ahead of them for, I guess, people that are looking at it like me, because they came into the show basically like with a fresh cast. Yes, we have Kanan, right? We all know it's Kanan, but it ain't 50 Cent.
It ain't 50.
It ain't 50. I don't see what they can do that would be more interesting than what the hell. They have to go above and beyond to find something interesting for me to actually care. I don't care what happens with Raquel. Nobody in that class, nobody in his crew seem interesting to me. Even if he does kill Joey Badass's character, I don't care, because it doesn't have any bearing on anything that happened in the past. It doesn't give me any clarification. Even if Jukebox does get kicked out and become a cop, because I don't care. I'm ready to move on to Power Book Season 2. As far as predictions, I don't care. Like, I honestly, like, I'm not saying the episode was like really bad.
I think it's fair where you're coming from.
But I just I watched the whole episode and I was just like, okay, you got the rocks. Now you're a badass after you beat somebody's ass with some batteries, right? I don't care.
No, it's a fair assessment, because when it comes to prequels with any type of show,
it has to be amazing.
You know, it has to really leave a long lasting. Unless you're like a super fan of the character and everything like that, or the world, like it's usually a double-sided coin. Like, you know, you really like it or you don't.
Yeah.
So I ain't mad at you, because that's how all prequels are. I guess since I'm just a fan of the show, that I appreciated that we're getting another avenue of power.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait for book 2, season 2 as well, and I can't wait for Force, because that's going to continue what we already saw. But I feel you. It's just the fact that we already know where this ends up, and it's just like, I'm gonna watch it, but I'm not excited. I feel you, and I respect that. It's cool.
Yeah, you killed all my excitement with that.
I'm sorry, bro.
That's what happens with prequels, man.
When I heard y'all praise, I'm just like, y'all cared?
Oh, man.
I'm not saying it was bad.
No, but when I went back to watch the scenes with Jukebox and Kanan from Power, I was just like, man, like, it kind of made me feel sad watching it, that I'm getting excited about the show.
Yeah.
But then I went back and watched those scenes. I'm like, damn, this is about to end bad.
It's
you
going
know?
to end bad.
So it
Oh,
kind of kills
man.
your excitement for the show. But I'm trying to put all my interest in the actors and their performances and how the story is going to build up. I get what you mean. I just want to take time to praise the actors.
There we go.
And what they're doing with the source material and just appreciate it in that manner.
And an opportunity to kind of speak on the game in a different era,
Yeah,
you know, because everything we're doing now is in present time.
But BMF is about to do that.
I know, and that's another thing, you know.
I'd rather be watching BMF right now.
I feel you.
Like
It's
I'll
tough.
try, y'all. I'll try.
out of all the shows that were announced, this was the one I was always least interested in because
I was that way
does
too. I
not
was that way.
progress.
Yeah.
And then 50s already has BMF coming out, which is gonna go into the 90s. I
Yeah.
don't care.
Yeah.
And if I did want to watch something else, I could watch Snowfall. That's the 80s, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
So it's just like
Oh, that's right.
it's like this. Just I just unless something amazing, I'm gonna watch it. I have to. I paid for Stars for 3 months. Now I gotta watch it. I'm screwed, right? But I hope something gets me excited in the next couple
It's
episodes.
a fair assessment. I agree.
I
I'm not
just
mad
know
at it.
when we watched when we watched Power Book 1, I was excited. I know y'all didn't like it, but I was excited because we had Tariq, we had all the history that you're not my fucking father.
I was
like, come on, like we had
but
so
I grew
much.
to enjoy it though.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm
So
not
hope-
feeling that way about
so
Kanan right now.
You never know.
But hopefully.
What happens if this series introduces like a big character in Power Book?
Now that's the thing that I think,
could,
but that was the
but-
only thing that I could see happening with Raising Kanan is that it can possibly,
But Kanan's dead.
well, not
and-
Kanan though, but maybe
but
somebody
Tariq-
from his world. You know, maybe
Yeah.
one of his family members or somebody that he's gonna run with will maybe factor into Tommy's story, maybe
Yeah.
Tariq's story. We can have those things happen too. You never know.
That would be cool.
All right, y'all. Let us know in the comments how you guys feel about this show. Highlights, predictions, any of that stuff. And yeah, we'll see you here next week.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.